I'm an outspoken person in a city that it's sometimes hard to be outspoken, in a city that can be a little bit scary. You know, Hollywood, it's a big world out there, but it's about never shying away from what you truly feel in life, and recognizing the power within you and not letting anybody ever take that away from you. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. We're all equal. You are just as great as that person you look up to, so.
Hello, in South Florida. I am here with the talented actress, Cassie Scerbo. She welcomed me into her home, and an honor to sit with you, talk to you about everything you've done on screen, what you're doing here in the community, and now the aftermath of, unfortunately, the Parkland massacre. And I know it obviously hits home both of us as we both graduated from Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into that, you've been in just some iconic pop culture productions. Bring It On, Make It or
Yes.
Break It, Sharknado. How are you kind of attaching yourself to some of the biggest pop culture productions of this millennium?
You know, I feel like I've gotten really lucky with that, because especially with Sharknado, I couldn't have imagined that myself, or that to become a pop culture hit, to have like my face on slot machines and on mugs and people dressing up as me for Halloween, and it really, to this day, like, it's very surreal to me. That's just been luck, and I'm very grateful and blessed. Hey, maybe it's good karma. We've been talking about karma, so maybe that's some good karma. But I'm so lucky, once again, that these projects give me a voice, and give me a voice and give me a platform, because they do have really big followings, and it's a gift, and a gift that I like to use to give back and gift other people with. The gift that keeps on giving. So, we just finished up number 6. I can't believe we're on number 6.
Wow.
It is the final.
You heard that, folks. Last
It's
Sharknado.
the last one, so I've been told.
No baby sharks are spawning or anything?
I mean,
possible?
we'll see. You never know. But it's been a blast, and I'm excited to see what comes next. I'm all about just stepping outside of the box, and it's funny because, drama is where my heart is at. I've studied everything from Uta Hagen to Stella Adler to Meisner to everything and anything, and then you do a fun movie like Sharknado, and it's like, well, how did this happen? But that's the beauty of Hollywood. You never know what's going to hit, and it's exciting to try new things and be different people. I don't go to set every day to just be this dramatic actress. It's fun to do comedy. It's fun to do these pop culture hits. And we'll see what comes next. I'm just exploring and having fun, and I love acting. And even if they're crazy projects like Sharknado or whatnot, people don't realize sometimes those are the most challenging projects, because you're told basically to look at some neon sticker as your eye line. You're on a green screen more than half the time, and you're being told to envision the most surreal and non-relatable circumstances. Sharknadoes, that's not a thing. So for me, I find it challenging to keep the characters grounded, to make it also, for it to be funny, you have to really believe in the circumstances that you're in. And sometimes I find that harder than just going on a set and being in an emotional circumstance and crying or whatnot, because a lot of us have dealt with people we love dying, or a breakup, or this or that, but pretty sure no one's seen an actual Sharknado. So it is challenging, and just, I don't know, all these things I've gotten to be a part of have been fun and have been different, and as much as they just seem like it's all glitz and glam and fun, they've been challenging, and I love challenges. So it's all been really great. I'm really lucky, and I'm really blessed.
I guess, tell me about just kind of your relationship with your family. Family,
Yeah.
too, is kind of number one.
Totally, or not kinda, totally. It is, it's number one. I wouldn't be where I am without my family, not only because of their financial support, of course, throughout the years. It takes a lot, driving your kids back and forth to Miami for auditions and flying them to Los Angeles to pursue their dreams, and acting classes and dancing classes and singing lessons. And I mean, grateful isn't even, there isn't even a word big enough to express how much I'm thankful for everything they've done. There's no word to express how thankful I am. But it takes a lot of emotional support as well. It's not an easy industry.
A lot of rejection, right?
There's a lot of rejection, and you have to have thick skin. And a lot of times, it's hard to have thick skin on your own. You need people supporting you to create that thick skin. You need people telling you every day that they love you and that they believe in you, and that that your mission isn't only, that it's not only seen in your eyes, but that it's seen in their eyes.
Hopefully you're okay with this, because I think it's a compliment, but I'm seeing now when people hear the name Cassie Scerbo, they're hearing almost activist before they hear the word actor. And I think it's something you should be proud of.
Thank you, yeah. Like I said, I will always be a performer, of course. I'll always enjoy doing that. That's my heart, my soul, my passion. But there is, and I say this all the time, there's no better feeling to me than giving back. For example, I've had the opportunity to perform the national anthem, let's just say, at Dodger Stadium or at LA Galaxy. I was also in a girl group. We performed all around the world. Doing something like that is, of course, it was also an honor for my country. But, performing in general in front of tons and, thousands of people is always the most, or just such a gratifying feeling. But the best feeling was, being on stage on Saturday and speaking to thousands of people, to ensure that changes are made, to inspire people to speak my heart. That's always going to feel the best to me. I'm the vice president of an organization called Boo to Bullying. Getting to speak in those schools and seeing kids come up to you with tears in their eyes, just by the fact that they were either moved or inspired or finally ready to admit that they've done something wrong, that's also really cool. And the fact that they're ready to make a change and a difference, those are always the best feelings to me. So I'm okay with activist and actress. Even if activist comes first, that means a lot to me. That actually is a very big compliment, so thank you.
You're welcome. And tell me a little bit more about Buddha bullying, because bullying's obviously, it's always been around. I think now with social media and the internet, it's become an epidemic, and it's scary for kids. You see how
pandemic.
Many, we could talk about suicide rates, and to me, it's cool to be nice. I spread that. I spread that as kind of my motto to my children, to the community.
Yeah.
Tell me about just the whole mission and philosophy of Buddha bullying.
Yeah, totally. It's funny because a lot of times when I speak at these schools, I always say the same thing. I'm like, you guys, it's way cooler to be nice. And I try to give the example of like looking at people in our community, adults like firefighters, policemen, or people that ultimately put their life on the line and they give back and they do what's right. They go into work every day servicing their communities and the people. And I'm like, that's cool to us. So why is it not cool to be a hero, to be a good person, to do the right thing in school? Like how has that not translated? I don't know. I don't understand it. But what I do see, there's always positive and negatives that come with everything. But I do see a lot of positivity on social media, a lot of people that are trying to spread the message love over hate. And Buddha bullying, that's basically what we're trying to do is eradicate hatred, bullying, to not only speak to the bullied, but those who are doing the bullying, those who are bystanders, who are just standing there and not doing anything, which some may say is just as bad as bullying yourself. And our main thing is our school assemblies. We go into schools and we preach our mission statement and our thoughts and our theories and facts and statistics. There has been a huge rise in bullying, in suicide, all that since social media. So that is the negative, I would say, of course, towards it. But our main thing is our school assemblies. We also start by sharing our stories because that opens up a conversation and allows for kids, students to realize that everybody goes through this. Bullying doesn't discriminate. I mean, the people you look up to, the people you don't look up to, yourself, everybody has dealt with some form of hatred, of bullying. How I got through it in my life was I used it as my fuel. I said, okay, a lot of the bullying that I faced was because I wanted to be an actress, was because I wanted to be a performer, a singer, and a dancer, whatnot. And I dealt with mainly girls judging me for this or testing me or trying to put me down, some jealousy, and whatnot. And statistically, girls are the biggest bullies toward other girls. It's one of the biggest statistics. So I use it as my fuel. I said, okay, well, now I just want to prove it 10 times more, and nothing is going to stop me. But we open up these conversations with our own stories. And then I find a domino effect happening. The next kid wants to come up and share their story, which inspires their friend, or someone who's not their friend to come up and share their story. And I would say that's our main thing. We also have Mothers Against Bullying. We do community outreach. We march. We're part of these parades in our communities, and a lot of other festivals and activities within the community. We have art programs. We have mentorship, toy drives, and gift card drives for teenagers. So just as much as we can do, anything we can get our hands on to promote love over hate. Like, it really is so easy to be nice. And I don't know where it has been misconstrued that kindness makes you weak, because the strongest people I know are just good-hearted people, and they stand for what they believe in.
No, I think that, look, South Florida, we're hurting right now, and we're looking for inspiration. We're looking for people like you to lead us and heal us and show that we can overcome and we can be strong. The song you did was beautiful, and I'm surprised that song took actually so long to actually remake, but she remade Heal the World. How did that kind of come together, and what was the brainchild behind that?
When I first found out about the tragedy, I was gearing up to leave town to go overseas to film in Romania. And when I say it was breaking my heart, like, that doesn't even do it justice. I was so upset that I couldn't come home and be here for the community. Like, I literally just wanted to physically lift everybody up and hug them and just do whatever I could to make a difference and to help people and to ultimately heal people. And I couldn't, and because I was so far away and I had committed to a job. So I said, okay, what can I do from afar? And the first thing was I put together a compilation video of influencers I knew who had a voice, who had a platform, who wanted to also spread hope and say a few words. So I put together that video. And then when I came back in town, I was like, it's still not enough. And March for Our Lives is approaching, and I've been away, filming this movie, and at the same time trying to do as much as I can for the community on social media and with that video, and putting it all together and helping with the editing process from afar, speaking to our administrators and leaders at the school. But it just wasn't enough. And sometimes, as I was saying on stage, words just aren't enough. And music can do things that words sometimes just can't. So I thought, let's put together a song. I have so many incredible friends with wonderful voices that I feel like would be more than willing to be a part of the video. And on this video, we have Katia Gleason, Katie Welch, Andrew Lawrence, and Kareem, as well as my friends Ryan Wood and Chris Wood, who helped produce and film. And I said, let's put together a song. And we had a few different options kind of floating around. There was Imagine, Heal the World, and I looked at all the lyrics to the different songs, and Heal the World was just it, and crazy enough, the student who spoke before me, it wasn't even planned this way, but he speaks about Heal the World in his speech, and he says the lyrics to the audience of thousands, which just empowered and inspired me even more, walking up to the stage on Saturday, knowing that song was coming next. It was just so meant to be. And I was so happy that we chose that song. I love Michael Jackson. I think he was just obviously the Prince of Pop and had so many incredible things to say. And he wrote that song, and it's just a really great and inspiring song. It's uplifting, but it doesn't take away from what happened. People died, and that is something that we need to constantly remember. It's, and never, and their deaths were not in vain, and we must continue to share their stories and rise to the occasion as a community. And I just felt like the lyrics just encompassed everything that I wanted to say.
The march is over, so where do we go from now? What's kind of going to be your mission now as far as implementing change and changing protocol? Where do you think we start?
Well, I loved what some of the people who spoke on Saturday said. Gearing up to 324, that was just the warm-up. And now the race begins. Now the marathon begins. And we won't stop until changes are made. It's using our voices, it's marching, of course, it's all those things, but it's speaking to the right people. It's being a part of the correct fundraisers and petitions. And ultimately, it's about making sure that our schools are safe. I have many phone calls they started today. I have many phone calls also that I'm going to be making and that I'm awaiting. But right now, I think the number one step is making sure the schools are safe, because all the political things that go along with March for Our Lives and everything that's going on, some of those things might take a while, and some of those laws and those bills and whatever, they might take a while, unfortunately. But ultimately, it's not about that. It's just about ensuring that every kid goes to school feeling safe and going there to learn and to not live in fear. So that's where we begin. That's where we start. I'm leaving politics aside personally, and I'm focusing on the students and on the community and on a greater America, and on a safer America. So.
When I marched alongside of you, and there's a lot of other alumni too, what was kind of just going through your mind walking, a street that we drove past millions of times where we were talking about tests or boyfriends or crushes, and I don't know, can you put into words kind of that march and just seeing the signs and seeing the community come together?
There's such a mix of course, anger, sadness, nostalgia. I really can't put into words everything I've been feeling. Empowerment from the community. I feel like we have never been more united, although we already come from such a beautiful, tight-knit community. We've never been more united, more willing to create change, and I'm so inspired truly by these students and by our community. These kids are my heroes. Like, they really are my heroes. But I actually passed by the school for the first time. I saw it in person on Friday, right when I went from the airport to the school. I didn't even drop my bags home. And I fell to the floor in tears. It was the most overwhelming feeling, just as you're saying, knowing that this is the school. These are the grounds that I used to walk on with my backpack, getting ready to go learn, or talking to my girlfriends about my crush, or about homecoming, about prom. I would walk to school every day with my cousin Anthony, and a lot of that was going through my head. This was an area that I would just nonchalantly walk through every day to get to my class. Never in a million years would you expect something like this to happen in Parkland, which really goes to show that it can happen anywhere, and like I was saying, like everyone's been saying, changes must be made. And just seeing those 17 crosses, I made sure that I took time to look at each individual cross and say each person's name to myself and wish the best to their family and anyone who's affected by their passing. And just made sure to send each and every cross my love. It's just still so surreal to me, all of it. And then that day when we were marching, a few of the people we were with, it was hot out and they were ready. They lived in the neighborhoods surrounding. And they were like, okay, we marched past the school. Do you want to maybe turn around and head back to the house? Totally understandable. But I was like, I have to finish the full march. I flew here. And I have to make sure I literally get to the last step of it. I even accidentally passed it. Me and my dad were going in the wrong direction. We were heading to another parking lot, and all the way back. And my dad, did that walk with me, and we walked all the way back to the car that I got there in. And I took my time by the school. I didn't care how hot it was out, or I just made sure. Once again, I looked at each cross, looked at the school that I used to just walk into every day for years, as you did, as our family members did, and. It's really it's unfathomable. It's surreal to me. But from here, all we can do is try to find the light in the darkness, which is making sure that this never happens again, and making sure that we can do some good for our country in honor of our 17
we have to.
Eagle Angels. Yeah.
The lump has not went away in my throat, and I don't know if you remember this, one of the victims, Meadow Pollock, actually came and visited you many years ago. She looked up to you, and you were her role model. And I was talking to your father about it, and we were both kind of getting choked up about it, but she's not going to be able to see you ever again, and she's not going to be able to watch you again, and it's heart-wrenching.
It is extreme.
And that's just one story of many, obviously, but that's just something
Yeah.
that just stuck out in
I
my head.
mean, of course I send my love to all of the victims' families and everyone affected by it, but that one's been hard. That's been really hard. My best friend sent me something she wrote on Facebook, and it just simply said, "I love Cassie Scerbo," and I was just really taken aback because you're right. You know, that is someone that looked up to me, and I'm sad that I can't, that, you know, she can't be here to watch the next movie, or that I can't give her another hug. What a beautiful girl with an incredible family, and what her father is doing is so admirable and inspiring. But I mean, I send all my love to that girl. I know she can hear us, and she's in a better place, as this world is scary. But yeah, that one hit really hard. I've spoken about it a few times and made sure to shout her out in my videos. But yeah, Meadow, we will make sure changes are made for you and in your name, and we will always remember you and love you. And I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to grasp the fact that people look up to me, because I just feel like I'm just a normal person. But the fact that someone so beautiful with such a big heart did, and that means a lot to me. Seeing that she just simply wrote, "I love you" at Cassie Scerbo, whatever it was, on Facebook, really broke my heart. But for her, I'm going to make sure, and for the other victims, and for Parkland, Florida, I will make sure that we make a difference, and that there are, once again, that changes are made, and that we find the light in this darkness. And I know she's in a much bigger and better place, and she's looking over, and we'll do it for her and for the others.
Yep. We'll be the voice for the people that don't have one now.
We will. We will.
It's our human race. There are people dying. It's a normal life living. Make a better place for you and for me. Make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world we live in. Save it for our children. Heal the world we live in. Save it for our children. Heal the world we live in. Save it for our children. Heal the world we live in. Save it for our children.
Marjory Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, I love you. Proud Eagle.